record also for myself. And still I'm at meeting. Okay. Okay, and so the point is interest because we are working with media, okay? And a set of journals, I told you, you can find it in Google Scholar, click on here to find the person, to find the journal. Also, the SciVal, as I told you, and 5 ways to find your topic, okay? So interest, also feasibility, be a smart, specific, measurable, assignable, reliable, and time-bound. And of course, contribution. And another one that I think we talked earlier was originality, okay? So that's why we, as a university, give you one advisor because a good advisor, I don't want to use the word good because a lot of people, they're like a helpful advisor that can help you at these days at the beginning of your PhD doctorado. So is to facilitate and accelerate the time to help you. Also originality. Yeah, of course you have some contribution, but do not reinvent the wheel, and we should compare. And I referred you to the word research. Do you remember? To the word research, research. The first point that I am considering to evaluate a paper as a reviewer, as an editor, is to see first the first future directions of your paper. So future directions, consider yourself uh, as an editor in chief in a journal. All the board members expect you to improve the impact factor, some indices of the journal. Okay, how we can improve the indices of a journal to receive more citation for that journal. Okay, so that's why most of the works from PhD students don't receive or will not receive good citations. Why? Because this is an output of a 4 years work, and no one is interested to continue again 4 years on a lot of mathematics, programming. Okay, journals are interested, not very deep scientifically works. Actually, of course, they are interested, but the first target is to improve the journal indices. Okay, and so the only way to improve the journal indices is to receive more citations. Okay, so interest, feasibility, contribution, originality. It is written down, and also you can add something else. Okay. So if you need all 4 items, if no, so no publication. So I showed you the journal pages, the like hot papers, recent publications, and also scholar pages, and I showed you the trends, statista. Okay, all of you, I think, remember these ways are very easy. Secrets are always easy. Okay. So, any question? Okay. So, just we are reviewing. Thank you very much. So, how to design like a business model to start a business? Also, again, I am telling you that don't reinvent the wheel. Uh, these slides are actually is based on my experience, my knowledge. Okay, let us review again. Is there anyone that can review this slide? Do you remember? Past, future review papers, future directions, contribution. So these are 5 ways here, right? if you didn't write it down, so please write it down now. The first one is that to consider the reference of your base papers, okay? The reference of your base papers. The second one is the future of your paper. How? By seeing the cited by, okay? Okay, and number 3, so if you want to find a contribution to define your topic, there are 5 ways. The reference or past works of your base papers. Number 2, you can find your base papers that you receive from your advisor. And for example, Juan asked me, okay, Mostafa, you proposed me one paper in 2024. How can I find the future of this paper? How can I guarantee no one used that method? So I can refer to this one, okay? Because the next paper cited. So before, in the past, we didn't have this opportunity. Now you have this opportunity. Number 3, review papers that they have like a future directions. And also I showed you my experience in my PhD. Number 4, future directions of your base papers. Very good point. And it shows the importance of future research. Please be careful to write some good future directions in your papers to receive more citations. Some of you ask me, Mustafa, how can I receive the like a good citations to increase my H index or citations to be hired by university? Please write your future directions in the best way or well, and also focus more on your keywords, abstract, and title. And the last one is contribution by you or your advisors according to science or knowledge of the advisor. So I am helping my PhD student to give them some ideas according to my knowledge. And it is day to day, okay? Because this is knowledge is experience. So that's why a very young advisor is not good. A very old, too old advisor without motivation, ambitions, sometimes, because sometimes old advisors still have good like ambition. But be careful about it, okay? That your advisor are very good with defining topics, good with journals, is very good. And because in the future, you cannot tell that, yeah, because of my advisor, because of my university, because of blah, blah, I couldn't publish more papers. So, okay, it happens. But what was your job at that time? Why didn't you search enough about it? Okay? So, and I suggest select your advisor by your heart. And if you feel good, select your advisor. And because you should work with 4 years with your advisors, okay? Sometimes you are good, sometimes you don't have time, sometimes you have family problems. Your advisor should understand you, okay? Sometimes you receive a lot of rejection. Your advisors should support you, and you should like keep you like supported, and also keep you motivating. So anyway, so there are some comments. Be honest with yourself as a referee of your paper. Is that your results are good? Analysis are good? I told you the first 2 slides. Do you remember the first 2 slides? The definition of research, huh? Research. It means that you are continuing. Number 2, the difference between an activity or exercise and research question. Okay, what does that mean? It means that you need analysis, especially after ChatGPT AI. I recommend, this is another secret. I hope one of you write only my secrets, okay? But it seems very easy. That please add some data in appendix. Journals are hungry, not only interested, to to see some data in the appendix to understand the originality of your works. Okay, so be careful. Anyway, yeah. So select a good journal. I suggest to ask your advisor. This is not your maybe ability now as a young researcher, early career to select a journal, and it is like a dynamic one. There is no like a solid prescription to give you. Okay, so that's why I ask you to ask some experienced editors. If your advisor is not good to select journal, I told you to find journals in Springer and Elsevier. Most of them are like open access and ask you money, so ignore them. And also, so if you are at Tec de Monterrey, so you can understand that in every campus, now we have in Tec de Monterrey, some professors are reviewers, have good publications or editor in journals, and you can ask them, okay? Don't be shy. It's better than to receive a lot of rejection and destroy your profile in journals, okay? So I told you my experience about the journals last session. Okay. And then we started, yeah, there are some ways to write your papers, to have a plan, please, and be careful about integration. Don't forget about originality and novelty. There are some ways to the like a skeleton of your papers. ¿Cómo se dice skeleton en español? Like a structure.
Sí, estructura. It's okay.
Okay. Okay, and yeah, let me connect with my iPad. Okay, you can hear me? One of you please open microphone.
Yes.
But still you are not connected to my iPad. I don't know why. It's changed, but okay. No worries. One of your papers, I told you some ways, like maybe different method, but the best way is that please write it down that you should learn from your uh, previous base papers, okay? Um, I told you my experience that you need English native. We practiced some like what is the difference between past and present perfect and the simple past. And we practiced together uh, this slide. Let me again practice in English. Is that any volunteer to help me?
The professor.
Okay. So I eat the dinner. What is, how about the past simple?
The dinner was eaten by me.
No,
Oh, sorry.
no.
Simple past. I ate dinner.
I ate dinner. Okay. And I told you here we are focusing on time. Okay. It's better to mention in the previous sentences or now here. For example, I ate dinner last night. Because the difference between past simple and present perfect is that we are focusing on time here.
Time.
Yeah. But here, I have eaten, huh? The dinner. It means, what does that mean? The action. It means that I am not hungry, I am full. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Pretty. Present continuous. I am
I am eating dinner.
the dinner. Okay. And this one, I
Was eating dinner.
and this one, I
Had.
yeah had. So the point is that here and here I have, let me show you, I have past participle, and for all passive, again, I have past participle. That's why, let me tell you, most of you have problem in this area. Okay, here we have past participle and also for the passive. For the passive, the subject, the object will be the subject here. Okay, so the dinner, and here is eaten, 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 and don't forget the dot for everyone. Okay, so uh, only pretty, only please conjugate or conjugate the verb to be for this column. Okay, like to go, like to work. Okay, now we are working on to be. What is the to be? Present simple.
The dinner. I ate dinner.
Am is
The
are.
dinner.
Am is are. Am is are. Which one is suitable for the dinner? Is. That's it. Okay? Again, to be past simple. Was where? Huh?
Was.
Was because this is singular. Yeah.
Was.
Okay. What is to be? The tense of to be at present continuous. Like to work.
Was.
To work, we say is working. To be is being. Huh? Is being. Okay? Again, like to work, was working. To be, was being. Okay, Pretty? Okay.
Is.
Yeah. To work, have worked. To do, have done. Now, to be, have been.
Have
Here,
been.
here we say has been because singular. Okay? Again, to be. To worked, had worked. To make, had made. To be, had been. Okay, any question?
No.
Thank you very much. Also in the chat. Yeah, and I remember we practiced together the Spanish one, but there is no need. Okay, if you want, you can take a photo and later you can write it down and practice. Okay, so this is passive. And as far as I know, I'm familiar with German, Persian, Spanish, but Arabic we don't have to be. But in all languages, this column is the same. In German, for some verbs, we use to be, and for some verbs, we use to have to make like a passive, okay? Passive start for the B2, a little bit on B1, B2, and all C1 and C2, like a structure are in passive. Anyway, any question? So, and as I told you, let me ask you again to review some questions. For the abstract, I told you, which tense is better? Time tense is better? Present, past, future?
Present, right?
Present.
Simple present.
Yeah. For introduction, of course, present because we are defining, okay? For conclusion, simple past. For future directions, we can use will. Maybe the only part that we can use will. For the literature review, if I mention one paper, like for example, Santiago et al. 2022, I should use simple past or present perfect?
Simple past because
Present
work has
perfect.
already done.
Simple past because we are mentioning only one paper, we are mentioning the time, we want to mention exactly that paper, okay? And how about this sentence? When I tell you several papers have worked on this topic or worked on this topic?
Worked
Have
because
worked. Have worked because I am not mentioning one exact point, okay? For example, in the last decade, several works have worked or have been done, okay? Several researchers have worked or several works have been done, present perfect. Because I didn't mention any exact paper, okay? Any question? Okay, I will practice with you later again about this topic. As I told you, there are some ways. I use some books like free writing, brainstorming. I told you what is the secret of the brainstorming. Um, Concept mapping, grouping. We practiced together last session. Reading good writing and maybe copying some verbs, good phrases. And I showed you Manchester Phrase Bank, you remember? Some of you maybe wants to write like this. You know why? Because we usually forget the ideas. It's better that you send yourself like a voice message on WhatsApp to yourself, okay? Or with the Apple Watch, you can send a voice message to yourself. And later you can, when you reach like one pen, you can write it down, okay? Yeah, order of importance, chronological, list, general to specific. We talked about it, but we practice again. I showed you some papers, okay. Also, we practice together. Please write it down, and later you can maybe ask ChatGPT to help you more. A sentence has a subject and verb, and please don't forget the period or dot at the end of at the end of a sentence. And paragraph, a set of sentences, maximum like a 5 to 7 sentences. In a paragraph, like you start a topic, support the idea, giving some examples, and then conclude, okay? So these are the preliminary, but let me tell you, more than 99%, even for me, when I want to write paragraph, I forget everything. I write from scratch, okay? This is our mind. And we practiced some sections of the sentences, some connector transitions. So anyway, so title, have anyone or has anyone wrote a checklist for a title from last session to share it with us? Just reading some points if you wrote.
Yes, me.
Yeah, adelante. Gracias.
It must be short, but not too short. Attractive, with no abbreviations. Understandable. Do not use some words like strong, novel, important. Then, as to your colleagues, uh, then you told us some golden rules and use advertising instead of showing.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Italy. I know that you are not in a good shape now, but thank you for your support and help. Yeah, very important. It should be short, not very short. Yeah, let me start again. Okay. So again, we are for the title. This is the beginning point. Uh, very important. It should be short, not too short. It should be attractive. If you didn't write last session, please write it again. Short, but not too short. Attractive. Yeah, thank you very much, Atefe. Searchable keywords, words according to the journal scope. Yeah, interesting for the readers. Use as few words as possible. Please write it down, okay? Have a checklist for the title. This is the beginning slide, okay? I am reviewing again. So of the rest of your life, you can write it down. You can check when you are writing the title, okay? So as few words as possible. You want to sell your paper. Do not use abbreviation. It is not recommended. Yeah. Someone is joining. Okay. So please write it down. As few words as possible. You want to sell your paper. Do not use abbreviation. It is not recommended to use question mark, but in some papers I use. Do not use a strong, important, advanced. Also novel. Recently, most of my papers using word novel, novel. Okay? It is not recommended to use novel, a strong, advanced, maximum like in new, but it is not recommended. And eliminate redundant words. Again, when you are happy or unhappy, change it again. Change it again. Ask your colleagues and revise again. Maybe before every submission, you change title, keyword, abstract. Arya and Avesta is here, are here. Yes. So before every, yeah, thank you, Arya Avesta. I wish Atefe, Arya Avesta, you write some maybe secrets or some main points, and finally, by handwriting, you can take a photo and give to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT can list and categorize. And if you send me, I can share it to the WhatsApp group. The main points, maybe. If you are happy, if you're writing, not mandatory, okay? So Ask your colleagues before every submission, you should change title, keyword, abstract. You can copy and paste title, keyword, abstract to ChatGPT, and also copy the scope of the journal. And ask ChatGPT to help you, okay? ChatGPT is good here to help you, okay? Do not copy and paste from ChatGPT. Sometimes Google is better than ChatGPT, okay? To show you maybe some photos, some videos. Yeah, okay. So, and also use the fewest number of words to express what you wish to say. Another one is put your topic words near to the most left. We call it in English to the most left at the beginning. And I told you we have two types of journals, problem-based, methodology-based. If it is problem-based, you should put the keywords of the problem at the beginning of the title, okay? We practice together. Include searchable standard keywords in your title. I showed you some samples last session, and I showed you like a back office with the profile of an editor, okay? And because this is like a secret, I cannot show you again. And last session, I asked you don't record the meeting because there are some papers, and this is like a completely blind that who is managing that paper or editing that paper. Okay, so anyway, maybe Arya Avesta, you can help me. This title addressing a nonlinear fixed charge transportation problem using a methodology. Is that a good journal? Is that a good for the problem-based journal or methodology-based journal?
Problem-based journal?
Yeah, problem. Thank you very much. Because we are starting with the problem, okay? The word addressing, I told you last session, addressing means solving, okay? So if you find a verb or some topics like this, addressing a, using a, okay? So in the title, you can write as your like a checklist. In the future, you can use it, okay? This is about 10 years ago. How about this one? Designing a sustainable closed supply chain network for walnut industry. For which journal?
Probably methodology.
Problem, there is no methodology here, only problem. Sometimes we don't bring methodology. The second one, a bio-objective optimization for a problem. So this is for methodology, maybe operation research or something like that. Number 3, shrimp closed loop supply chain network design. There is no methodology here. So for which journal? Problem-based journal. The same algorithm, 100% methodology. Tree-growth algorithm, 100% methodology, okay? Integrated scheduling of production and rail transportation, 100% problem-based, not methodology, okay? So if you have a survey, for example, in psychology, in engineering, management, literature, if you want to focus on methodology, because you have some contribution, some originality, some innovation, and also originality in, I told you the definition of originality in your paper. So put more weights on the methodology and put to the most left of your keyword, okay? So any question? This is a little bit challenging here. Okay, there's no need to write in the chat. Just open your microphone and we can go fast. Any question about the title? I will share this slide with you, but please write it down. You should have one page, like a checklist for the title, okay? Thank you very much. Abstract, and then I give you a break, okay? Abstract. So there is no need to give you some comments that abstract is very important after keyword. Abstract is will be online without like clicking and buying or downloading PDF. Maximum, some journals allow you to 250, but maximum 200, please. Please be really short after title. Abstract is very important. We review together. This is the time that as a researcher click and read your paper, okay? So this is very important, like exactly like a TV commercial or TV commercial. Because after watching the TV commercial or an advertisement or a flyer, they click to download your paper. That's why you can see like a hot papers in journals, okay? And so reviewers usually read your abstract. Editors also be careful to mention the contribution and the novelty of your papers. Wait until paper is written, okay? And then write abstract, but you can put some main points in the abstract just to remind you. The major objectives, conclusions, or finding, I will tell you. Again, don't forget to use keywords, major results. Only don't forget to write only in single paragraph. We don't explain about the background information. Please avoid too much information or too much information in problem or methodology, okay? And don't use equations or referring to your questions, your sentences. Maybe sometimes in algebra physics, you should mention that I am extending this paper. So you mention, this is not a reference, but this is like mentioning that I am working on that paper. This is not for engineering or management, okay? Maybe in literature, yes. Using, don't use abbreviations, don't avoid unclear message and unclear contribution, and do not exaggerate, okay? So, and also use extra words. Be careful about the originality and contribution of your paper. Can anyone tell me about the difference between contribution and originality again to practice more? What are the definitions of originality and, yeah?
Originality means others' contribution who already found, and contribution is my contribution that what I want to contribute to the research.
Yeah, contribution is your novelty, okay? You're like your innovation. What is your new word, new statement, okay? But the originality is that originality means if you proposed a new method or an assumption or something like this, you should prove that new idea. You should prove that contribution, okay? What does that mean? For example, one of you proposed a new sampling method. I am telling to someone that they are new in today's class. You proposed a new sampling method, okay? Or new maybe probability distribution or something like that. So how you prove that one? You should compare with the existed method, okay? With the previous method, like in table to analyze, and you prove that your idea like works well or no, okay? So most of the rejection are because of originality. Your title is interesting, abstract interesting. You did well your maybe research methodology, and you are claiming that my method is new, my methodology is new. I mixed two methodology. I did survey in a new society, in maybe in a new laboratory with a new assumptions, with considering that assumption, this assumption for the first time. Okay, all of them like doing an exercise. But how about the analysis? I told you that what is the difference between research and, let me tell you, let me show you here. Do you remember the first slide? What is the word research? It means research. Okay, let me duplicate, for example, this one. Research. It means that you should continue. That's why future direction is very important. Research. Another point is that what is the difference between research and answering a question or doing an exercise? The answer is, do you remember what is the answer of this question? What is the difference between research and, on the other hand, like answering question, doing an exercise? Last session you told me.
We said it was analysis, right?
Analysis, yes, thank you very much. Yeah. Analysis. Analysis. Analysis comes from originality because you are comparing. Okay? Analysis comes from originality. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay. So, let me tell you the abstract. Before showing you this slide, I ask you this question. Maybe some of you answer my question. Okay? Yeah. Any abstract has 5 sections, okay? Can anyone tell me what are the 5 sections of the abstract? Last session I told you.
Yes, we first provide an introduction to our problem, then we state our problem, then we talk about our solution approach and other novelties that we have, and then we state some of the main findings.
Thank you very much. So any abstract has 5 sections. Please write it down. Write them down, all of the points that we are talking about abstract. If you want to write abstract, it takes only maybe 5 minutes. Okay, if you have a checklist. So again, we review. You can take a photo. Number 1, maybe 1 sentence, 2 sentences, but maybe 0 sentence, because in like algebra, like physics, you cannot say that recently algebra is important or that problem in algebra is important. So no, it doesn't make sense. Okay. So number 1, introduction, motivation. Some words like recently, nowadays, and after that you are using the past simple. Okay. Sorry, present perfect. Yeah. Number 2, problem statement, main assumptions. For the problem statement, which time tense we are using? Past or here? Can you tell me about the time? I told you last session. In the problem statement, you say
Present.
yeah, this paper proposes, this paper develops. Yeah, I told you the reason in the literature last session. Okay. Solution method and solution approach. And number 4, in Spanish, we say algo más. Anything else? If you use maybe tune the parameters, if you use the case study, This is like a logical first problem. Before telling the problem, can you tell about the solution approach? No. After telling 2 and 3, number 4 is that anything else, algomas, other novelties, case studies, parameters, any new, any contribution, okay? And the last is the main finding. Finding is the result of the result. Finding is the result of the result. Please write it down. Finding is the result of the result. Okay, so any question? So for this one, let me tell you, in the history of sustainable development, logistic has been sought. Arya, can you tell me the structure of has been sought? Is that active or passive?
Passive.
Passive.
For which tense?
Present.
Present perfect, huh?
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, thank you. For this one, has received active for which tense? Again, present perfect. Yeah,
Yeah. Present perfect.
thank you. In this study, a new CLC network is use abbreviation first, and then there is no need to repeat again. Is designed the present
Simple.
again
Present.
present. Yeah. And number 3, like methodology. Number 4, algo más, anything else. The last one, the result or finding. Okay, another example for the phrases. In the history of blah, blah, has been thought of. In the meantime, has received. In this study, is firstly designed or is first designed. Therefore, some advanced structures like not only but also. Okay, some phrases. Again, nowadays, to the best of our knowledge, or contrary to previous works, or reportedly, there is no research reported to date, because in Arabic we say like ijaz, like it as short as possible, because maximum is 200 words. Okay, and finally, so some main phrases nowadays in today's economy, to the best of our knowledge, contrary to previous works, our novelty approach is, our contribution is, or is, the model is firstly developed. Also, besides, furthermore, in addition, moreover, so you can use it. Actually, you can insert it finally after writing your abstract. In order to tackle such an NPR problem for the purpose of performance evaluation of the proposed algorithm, comma, you continue. Finally, comma, you continue, okay? So, and for this one, I suggest using this website. We call it Academic Manchester Phrase Bank. These are native. Can you see here, introducing works? You have a lot here, They wrote from the minimum to maximum lengths. X, these are phrases, okay? Don't afraid of like a similarity. I will tell you how you can solve it later, okay? Don't worry. X, Y, they are, this is from UK, they are native. I don't know why some of us, we don't use some phrases in our works, okay? Academic Manchester Phrase Bank. Let me copy this. Link to the chat. Okay, because because I want to show you some. Okay, to be kept informed about the announcements in our WhatsApp group. I changed it to the channel, not the WhatsApp. Okay, so you can use those and you should practice. I have been working more than maybe 15 years on that. Okay, after finalizing your abstract, not only your abstract, but also the rest of the paper, it's a very good idea to use some advanced grammar to show the like a good level of your English language. Actually, in writing academic paper, we are not allowed to use like a very advanced structure, advanced adverb, advanced or rare or strange adjectives. We are not allowed to use phrasal verbs. Please write it down. It's better to use passive sentences and avoid to say a lot of v. Don't use I, even you are the only solo other, okay? So the solo in English, solo in Spanish. So check that when, where you can insert, like for example, in Hollywood, in media, after finishing the editing the works, they start inserting some maybe good or maybe beautiful like a landscape or something like that. Okay, not only but also is being used is used in mainly is recommended to be used in a negative tense. Okay, but I don't know why the reason, but you can use it to mention or make it more like important or interesting, not only in the abstract, in the rest of your paper. You can check that, for example, 3 times you want to use not only but also. Neither nor. In Spanish, they say no ni, either or. We don't have like a direct either or, I think, in Spanish. And both and. The more, the less, the larger, the shorter, the fewer. This is very good, especially in analysis section, okay? And so for your writing in any language, you're using like a due to, since, because of, leads to. This paper is to be to. It is not formal, but maybe you can use sometimes to be to. This paper aims to, this paper deals with, this paper considers, this paper develops, this paper presents. Okay? Any question? Okay. So, and you can search it in internet to like a time transition. Like a checklist. At the end of the paper, you can read again, print your paper, read again. That you transited your sentences together. And I told you, after, at the end of this class, I will work with you maybe in another session about the main structures. Sometimes I receive some papers, there is no sentence, maybe dot or period at the end of sentence, like 3 pages in one paragraph, I told you. So these are not good, okay? Contrast, yeah, illustration, comparison, cause and effect is very important. Do not exaggerate again. Yeah, you can use it. Don't use Google Translate. We talked about it last session. I am reviewing very fast the main points of the last session. So I give you a break, and then now it's 10:15 in Mexico. I give you a break, and I will start after 15 minutes. 10:13 Mexico and 8 p.m. in Iran, 7:13 Turkey, and I don't know in India and maybe Nepal. Okay, so any questions so far? Yeah, thank you very much. So I will see you after 15 minutes, okay? So we finished the title, abstract. Hope you wrote the checklist for yourself. And now we are going to start introduction. Perfect. So introduction, if you ask me, maybe the most important the paper that attracts after like keyword title abstract is introduction, because honestly, you know, usually editors and reviewers read the introduction, like especially the figures, to be written like a brochure, to be attractive, interesting, and then they pass literature review, only read the research gap and what is your approach, a little bit about your methodology, because methodology is repeating, and finally uh, result tables, uh, analysis. Okay, so this is very important. As I told you, if you see some of my recent papers, our recent papers, especially with Moin, that is Avesta, Arya, Atefe, they are working with us. They know that how much I focused on the figures and introduction, and to make it very attractive. Okay. So, and there are some secrets I will tell you later. For example, the first sentences of the introduction, you should use now, for example, the reference from 2026. Why? You know the why? Why we are using recent references, citation at the beginning of the introduction from 2025, 6 from top journals. Why? Please open your microphone if you want.
To show that it's relevant, that you're up to date.
Relevant, and this is like up to date. It means that you already finished the paper. If your the latest reference was like 2023, 24, what does that mean in my mind as an editor is that you submitted your papers several times and you received rejections. Okay, I will explain you. And don't use references from conferences, Hindawi, MDPI, don't use it, and use from top journals. For example, you want to submit your journal at the level of like 80, the reference must be more than the level, just for example, the level 80, in terms of like their like reputations, their impact factor, their maybe indices. Okay, so also do not talk badly about your previous research. I showed you last session that they will be your reviewers, and also this is not a good way to talk about, especially in the research gap at the end of the literature review. Do not underestimate the previous works, okay? So avoid too much information, avoid unclear structure and purpose, avoid listing and bulleting. After ChatGPT, please do not use listing and bulleting. Maybe you didn't use ChatGPT, but they think that you use ChatGPT, okay? Don't use bullet and listing. And be careful about the structure, I will tell you, okay? So, introduction answers these questions. This is very important for you to consider how and why you are writing introductions. Is the contribution new? Is the contribution significant? What is the contribution? Is that suitable for the publication on that journal? You should prove that, okay? I make some pause because you have time to write down. Okay, so this is the structure for the introduction. If you have literature review, if you want to put literature review in the second part of your paper, no need to put literature review here and ignore that. So introduction has 3 sections, okay? Or in this case, 4 sections, because you want to use literature review here. So, do you remember the first part of the abstract was? Open microphone. The first part of the abstract was?
Motivation or
motivation.
Yeah, that was like a 2 sentences. Here we have like a 2-3 pages. So the first part of the abstract is exactly the first part of the introduction. Here in abstract 2-3 sentences, here is 2-3 pages, okay? So numbers 3 or 2, without considering literature review. Problem statement. Problem statement is the extended section of 2, 3, 4 of the abstract. 2, 3, 4, 2 is problem statement, 3 solution, 4 is anything else. How about section 5? We don't bring section 5 to the abstract. Section 5 is the result of the result. The last section is the rest of the paper. Only 1 paragraph, okay? Introduction, I am talking to you like in a tangible way. Maximum 3-4 pages introduction. Okay, I explained you sentences and paragraphs. Be careful about it. To write paragraphs like a passing the ball, be careful. Use maximum 6, 7, 8 lines for paragraphs. It depends. Sometimes 10 lines, no problem, but be careful. Using figures, facts from statista.com and do the reference or other sources. Design your own figures as much as you can, and do your best and make it like a brochure, like an attractive one, okay? As I told you, Moin is now here, and you can, Moin, please write your full name here. They can go and find your recent papers about, mainly about hydrogen in Mexico, and they can find your papers, recent papers, Moin. Yeah, yeah, you can find his research, his recent papers to see how to write introduction. Okay, so as I told you, like a general to a specific, it means that like a supply chain, and then importance of supply chain, 1 paragraph, and then type of supply chain, another paragraph, and then perishable supply chain, another paragraph, and then agri supply chain, okay? So, and then everything is ready to talk about the problem statement, the second part, that is extended of the part 2, 3, and 4 of the abstract. I made an example last session. It's like a proposal ceremony. At the beginning, we don't ask like a boys, don't ask girls to propose them to marry, huh? We need introduction and motivation from general to specific. At the beginning, your name, your family, your job, economy, and something like this, okay? So, and we talked about it. This is like an introduction, different paragraphs. Be careful about it, and you should have a section. So some nice photos. Your paper is like your baby, and I enjoy watching these beautiful photos. Yeah, this is a kiss from your paper to you, okay? And KISS is the abbreviation of keep it short and simple. Keep it short, simple. Keep it easy, okay? Take it easy. So any question? Let me tell you the last part of the introduction. This is not mandatory, the rest of the paper. I have a bank for myself, like a, when I see some verb like a detail is a verb. Discuss, formulate, present, propose, one sentence passive, one sentence active, okay? You can write it maybe in less than 2 minutes. Abstract like a 5 minutes. This paragraph, 2 minutes. Here, the second part of the introduction, extended part of the abstract, you can do it at the end of the paper. Keywords, just searching your base paper, less than 2 minutes, okay? So you can do it very fast. Okay, these are the practices about. Any question up to here? Literature review, title, keywords. Keywords, I didn't tell you. Keywords is like a standard keyword you can find in Google Scholar, Scopus, and your base papers, okay? Abstract 5 sections, introduction 3 sections. Okay, thank you very much. So literature review. From now is new for all of you, okay? Like a 1 hour, 1.5. Oh, like, yeah, 1.5 about the previous session. Okay, literature review. Most of you ask me, let me give you some maybe easy points and what important. Please write it down, all of you. Why do we use literature review? The answer is to tell the future researchers that we surveyed or reviewed the literature is like a proof of a kind of like originality, okay? It's very important. You know, if you want to work on a base papers, you are reading the full literature review to see what happens from the previous papers up to your base paper. So you are informing. So the logic of the literature review is informative, okay? And narrating like a story. Please write it down. History, a story. Literature review is history. You should narrate it like a story. Number 2, how many papers? It depends on your works, base papers, but I usually that there are some ways to write literature review. If you want to like write section by section, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, every subsections at least 10 references, okay? If you want to narrate like the whole story in only one section, like 15 to 20 references are enough. This is not your mission to refer all the works in that area. No, the most recent and related works, okay? If you see some of your base papers, you can understand how many you need, how to write it, okay? Okay. So, and also don't forget the research gap.
Excuse me, Professor.
Yeah.
In this section, we should also include or adapt the references according to the journal we are sending to.
According to what?
To the journal that we are
Target
sending to.
journal.
Sorry, again, journal, the last part I couldn't.
That we are sending our paper.
Okay, you know, for all the sections, you should consider the recent papers published in that journal. Okay? Of course, for this section is the same. Also, you should consider the related previous works, your base papers. You should explain them and chronological, for example, from 2015 to 2025. Another point is that when you are narrating the previous works, don't write for every work one paragraph, okay? The point is that, for example, you start the first work. For example, Santiago et al. 2015 developed a model addressed by blah, blah, solved by blah, blah, okay? Maybe like 5 lines. The next paper that you are going to narrate is that later, for example, Jesus et al. Worked on a similar topic, that's it, or did a similar, or for example, developed a similar model, but, or however, they changed or they used or utilized a case study. That's it. You are not to explain all papers in detail, okay? So one paper long, another one short, again, another one long, okay? It's like a Hollywood movie. Sometimes like a action, sometimes like a drama, sometimes like maybe a pause, okay?
Okay.
And focus more on the research gap at the end of the literature review. And don't worry about it that, for example, maybe there is one paper that I didn't review. Yes, maybe. How can you solve it? You cannot solve it. You are mentioning the recent related works. You are not writing a review paper. Okay? No reviewer asks you, please add more papers. No. Instead, focus on your research gap. You can do like a table, section by section. For example, you have some innovations on your problem, and also so you have some innovation on methodology. Okay, writing like some paragraphs, and then 2.1, 2.2. 2.1 is problem, gather like 15 works, narrate, and then 2.2 about methodology, 15 works. And then in the research gap 2.3, you can say that, so as mentioned above in 2.1, 2.2, and to the best of our knowledge, we are the first in considering these assumptions or using this methodology in this area. For example, no one used like a genetic algorithm in this area, and we are the first. So the paper is like a passing the ball. In the research gap, you mention all, and then in the next part, section 3, is that you can use it for your paper. Okay, so thank you for your good questions. Don't use like this. For example, blah, blah, et al. Developed. That person studied. One paragraph. No, you are not copying and paste the abstract. This is not your mission. Maybe you can explain this paper, and then you can say that another paper did the same, a similar work, but their contribution was, their innovation was, the difference was, okay? So I should stand up sometimes. So any introduction has main three parts. Number one is introduction, okay? Define the topic, reviewing the number of papers on that area is new, old, or something like this, okay? And we are using here present perfect. Why? Open your microphone.
Because we're mentioning the year these studies are released.
We are not mentioning, huh? We are not mentioning, for example, several works have been done, several review papers have been reported, okay? If you are using the exact paper here in the body, you mention simple past. For example, Babar et al. 2022 studied, not have studied. Because we are mentioning one paper. Exact paper, exact time, exact work. Okay. In the body, it depends on you, your approach. Some papers you are like sectioning, some paper like thematically. Some papers like methodologically, some papers you want to write like one table to summarize. But don't forget to use research gap, okay? Because most of the reviewers now asking to talk about the research gaps, summarize the major contributions, and what is your approach here, okay? So this slide is very important, but this is from my side. There is no like a prescription. And if you have some questions come to your mind, please go to the base papers and see their structures. Like me, I didn't have any maybe mentor, coach, or professor that helped me how to write a paper. I learned myself, my teachers, my professors, my mentors, my coach were the previous papers, okay? So we have some words like e.g. E.g. is exempli, gratia is for example. You can write it down. Et al, et alia. If you have two, one and two others, so it is, you write the name of the others. If you have more than two others, so it is like a, for example, like a Babar et al, okay? I.e., it est means like Latin, okay, Greek one is that is, or it means. In Spanish, we say o sea, see? O sea. Okay. We continue. We talked about it, and again, I emphasize, if you are mentioning one paper with the time studied, okay, not have studied, but several review papers have studied or have been studied, okay? So the past perfect. Anyway, there are some points I am telling you here. Do you know the difference between, some words in English has two functions, both verbs and nouns, okay? Can anyone, I don't want to pronounce now. If I consider these two as a verb, can you pronounce them? Or you have a maybe?
Increase
Increase and use, I guess.
Okay, the stress is the first part or the last part, if we consider now.
The first part, I think.
Verb. The verb. The verb stress is in the first part or the last part?
Mostly on the first part, I believe, like increase or use.
This is noun. This is noun. Okay.
Okay.
About the verb, the last part, like I like exaggerate, okay? Increase, and the last part is ze. You don't have in Spanish ze. Increase, last part, use, decrease. I am exaggerating. For the noun, stress is on the first part. And increase. And a decrease. I am just exaggerating. Stress on the first part, and you should pronounce them like a S. For example, English grammar in use or use. English vocabulary in use or use.
With S, right?
With S, yes, because this is noun. Or uses. Uses means usages. Okay? So, be careful. For example, like Mexican inflation faced and increase verb. But Mexican inflation increased with zeta, z, okay? So, and also be careful, we practice later, like criterion, criteria. Which one is the singular, which one plural?
Criterion is the singular form. Criteria is plural.
Yeah, singular, plural, like appendix, appendices, index, indices, tools, teeth, food, feet, thesis, theses, and or theses, analysis, analyses, syllabus, syllabi, fungus, fungi, or something like that. We practice later. Okay. So to cite, please use EndNote, not mandatory, but it's good for you. Figure and tables, please write like a use figure 1 and bold it, okay? Use like a blue, this one, and don't forget to mention okay. Use corrected structure, reduction form, I will tell you later. A sentence has a subject and a verb. A sentence has a subject and a verb. A sentence has a subject and a verb. You are sending me some words. I cannot find where is the beginning of the sentence and where is the end of the sentence, how many subjects you are using, how many verbs. Okay, be careful. Okay, I will show you some example later. No question. That was the literature review.
Yes. Should we use the abbreviation FIG after the first use of the complete word figure, or can we use it?
Fig is not abbreviation. Fig dot is the, you can write like a figure, no problem. Table figure. Fig is not abbreviation. If you put fig dot like this, it means that this word continues, like co dot. It means company. For example, your name is
Elsevier.
Elsevier. If I write el dot, it means that it continues. It is not abbreviation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so methodology is later we start like a methodology or problem statement or methodology. In problem statement, don't forget to cite and mention that your model, maybe mathematical model, or also for the methodology, most of you most of us after section 2, we don't cite our sentences. And this is not good. You should mention, for example, to talk with the next researchers that for this problem, for this mathematical model, for this methodology, you use that paper and why. You use that sampling method and why. You use that, for example, like parameters, why. You should mention the previous works, some of them your base papers that I have read this paper, that paper, and finally I selected this one and this one, okay? Sorry. Okay, so most of the PhD students, you pass one course with the name of design of experiments. I recommend to pass this course, not only for your research and works, but also your whole life. Do not reiterate the items from other sections. Should be the easiest section to write, the methodology. Do not teach, only be convincing, okay? Do not teach in like a detail, and do not maybe write very maybe hard to understand and complex. Methodology is the place that you can attract researchers to continue your works. For example, in meta-heuristic algorithms, I usually suggest to use chromosomes to show the chromosomes. If you show the chromosome, you help the future researchers to do the same and to understand, not teaching, to understand and contact you and invite you to as the co-author to help them, okay? And don't forget to use references, please. Not only, for example, like John Holland in 1966, 74, like, or no, sorry, I think 60, 68. Yeah, developed genetic algorithm that is from Darwin. No, this is like a teaching. Yeah, you can mention, you can cite them, but why, how, how, why, for what reason you use this method, okay? It should be convincing, okay? So no, maybe detailed explanation on methodology section. If you have any question, you can tell me and ask me, and I'm going to show you some good examples.
Yes, I have one. For example, do you recommend use a concept diagram, or do you or explain the methodology with maybe the pseudocode or both?
Yeah, you can use like a semi-code. It depends on your journal. If you look at the previous papers, and some journals, you can see that always figures are welcome, pseudocodes are welcome, okay? But if you are, for example, focusing on problem-based journal, for example, journal of hydrogen energy, okay? They don't ask you to explain more about methodology. If you talk more about methodology, they reject your paper. They ask you, please publish your papers in, for example, expert system with application, soft computing, methodology-based journal. So on that journal, you should be silent. Maybe one figure, one diagram, or a simple explanation. This is our research in that, okay? But if you are writing, if you want to submit your paper in like applied soft computing or AI journals, not only pseudocode is like a kind of mandatory, but also you should put supplementary material, appendix, maybe the code, not only pseudocode or semi-code. Pseudo means semi. Okay, Elsevier?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it depends on your target. For example, you want to publish an article in a daily newspaper in Mexico. There is no need to put like some maybe figures or something like that. But if you want to publish again in a newspaper, but economic newspaper in Mexico, you should talk about fact. You should refer your sentences according to that economist, Mexican economist, Colombian economist, according to the like WTO. You should support your. But like a daily newspaper, like an ordinary one, no. Just you can talk about the main
Right.
topic.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. The response, like it depends, is like a cliche, but in French. But I don't want to use it and more. But I am repeating. It depends. It depends. It depends, to help you to see your previous papers. If you click and find some previous papers in some journals, hot papers, recent publications, you can understand that how is their approach, because this is like a dynamic one. After AI, COVID, pandemic, most of the journals are asking to write like less than 10,000 words, 8,000 words, 12,000 words. Okay, yeah. Any other question? Thank you, Elsevier. No? Okay, so we continue up to 12. Results and discussion. Open a new page on your notebook. I give you some important points. Before starting your experiments, please read some good examples, design your experiments, ask your professors. Most of you are coming to my office after doing your experiments, and you say that, Mostafa, this is our result. And most of the time, your results are not enough. Analysis. You are not doing an ordinary exercise, or doing an exercise, or answering like a question sheet. You are doing a research. So we need if then. Maybe in the revision, a reviewer asks you more analysis, and you cannot say, I went out from my laboratory. I destroyed, I broke my maybe stuffs in laboratory. No. Okay, so make sure you are sound in analysis. It makes sense or not. Samples, like a small samples, medium sample sizes, or large sizes is good. Appendix is good. Be convincing, be honest, be frank, do not exaggerate. My results show that, for example, that algorithm is very, my assumption is very, my parameter is like a super good. No. Okay. This is scientific person. Use a small, medium, large size. Be familiar with the design of experiment. On January, the PhD student in Campus Puebla, you have this course. Maybe I teach for you, but I still don't know. Use a case study or industrial example. You know the difference between case study or industrial example? Please listen carefully. All of you, please write it down. A case study only happens in a laboratory that you have all parameters on your hand. Environmental impacts are nothing. This is a case study. Case. It means that for this case, for example, this mouse is my case, okay? It means that I have all parameters, temperature, maybe the size, the performance, all are in my hand. I can change it. Industrial example is not a case. Most of your works are not case. This is wrong that you write in the title that a case. No. Industrial example is that some of the parameters you have, you can find it in the internet. Some you make it yourself. Some you can find it in Google Map, the distance of between Puebla and Mexico City. Some you ask from their experts. This is not a case study. A real case study only happens in laboratory, okay? Yeah, thank you very much, Atafer. Explain the figure and tables. Next slide. Use past simple, mostly passive, but you're allowed to use like a VVV active sentence here. Past simples because you already went out from laboratory. You can use past simples. We did, we studied, we analyzed, okay, you can use it, don't worry. Because you already came from laboratory, or laboratory not to like wearing like a blanco, like a white clothes and going to lab. No, math lab is mathematics laboratory, okay? Programming is a laboratory. Do not interpret yourself. You know the meaning of the interpretation? What is the difference between interpret and translate in English?
Like translate is literally what it says, but interpret is putting it in your own words according to what you consider it was the definition, and you mentioned it probably in other words.
Good.
Like,
Yeah. You know, translation is like a word by word you translate it. You are not allowed to interpret, okay? Interpreter is like a TV interpreter, or, for example, Claudia Sheinbaum goes to China. The person who translates, or in this case, we say interpret, to that like the president of China, we call it interpreter. The person that is like in real time translate. We call it interpreter, not translator, because it is supposed that that person interpret just transferring the main points, the meaning, not word by word. Okay? So here interpretation means that do not interpret yourself the results. Just giving the fact, this algorithm is better than this algorithm. That's it. Not interpreting. For example, this algorithm is better than this algorithm because this is interpretation. Because of its good procedure in local search, because of its chemical, maybe like a pH, or maybe, I don't know, the color, don't interpret. Only says that the results show this one. That's it. Do not use phrasal verb. Don't say that goes up, goes down, maybe take off, take down, take apart. No, don't use. Do not exaggerate. Describe your findings clearly, nothing like a double meaning. Do not ignore works in disagreement with yours. Maybe because you change that circumstances, like reduce the temperature, increase the size of the problem, this is the result. And don't say that, yes, for example, there were like a similar works and the result was worse than me. So this is not good, okay? Which part of the Yeah. Interpret in Arabic and Persian we say like a tafsir مفسر میگه تفسیر نکن. Do not interpret. You can say that, so this algorithm is better than this algorithm. This is the fact, okay? Only give the fact. If you say like this algorithm is GA is better than SA in our case, because GA's local search is better than SA. No, this is your interpretation. Who knows? Okay? Do not explain yourself. Do not make some new reasons yourself. Okay? Got it? Okay. این قسمت فارسیش let me tell in Persian to the Persian like a participant. این قسمت فارسیش یکم توضیحش راحت‌تره. تفسیر کردنه. از خودتون تفسیر نکنید که چرا این الگوریتم از این الگوریتم بهتر شده. او خودش موضوع ریسرچ دیگه است که چرایی رو نیارید. اوکی؟ فقط بگید این فکت، بگید این شکلی مفسر، مثل مفسرهای تلویزیونی که میگن اونطوری نباشید که از خودشون یه سری دلایلی میارن بیرون. برای من یکم فارسیش این قسمت راحت‌تر بود. So don't say like a why interpreter, like a TV interpreter, for example, like maybe Russia and Ukraine. There are a lot of interpreters. They say why, what does reason. In my opinion, I anticipate this one, that one, or something like this, okay? So these are interpreters. You shouldn't interpret. You should only report the facts. What happened? Okay? For example, we have like an earthquake in Mexico. We can say like a 5.2 Richters. That's it. This is like giving you a fact. If I say the reason, I am interpreting. Maybe this is because of Popo. Maybe this is because of ocean. Maybe this is because of... This is my interpretation. This is not scientific. Yeah, thank you for your question. Do not ignore works like disagreement with you. Okay, because theories actually, or science, we call it science because every theory later can be ignored by another researchers, okay? If you say something that cannot be ignored later, this is not science. Even, let me give you one example. 2 plus 2, 2 más 2 equals, sería 4, okay? 2 plus 2 equals 4, 4. This is science, this is a fact. This is very like obvious, apparent. But because this is science, maybe later one scientist comes and say that no, 2 equals 2 maybe is greater than 4 or less than 4. We don't know. Every theory maybe later will be ignored. We saw in the history of science, okay? I love this part of the science. We call it like a philosophy of science. If you are interested in reading philosophy of science, there are some books I can... Actually, this is a field of study in the United Kingdom. Okay, and if you can, I strongly recommend to use the previous published data and compare with them. Okay, and so there are some books that can help you, like we have some verbs like a peak, fall, drop, increase, decrease, growth, the more, the more, the more, the less, and the result and discussion. Please write it down. If then, although, but, or however. Okay, if you pass some maybe English writing structure in IELTS and TOEFL, so good for you. To grow up, we usually use like a growth. Increase is verb, growth is only noun. Increase is noun. Rise is verb. Decline, verb and noun. Decrease, verb and noun. Drop, verb and noun. Fall, verb and noun. And be careful about the past simple and past participle. You can take a photo and practice. Fall, fell, fallen. Increase, increase, increase. Drop, drop, drop. Decrease, decrease, decrease. Like rise, rose, reason. Grow, grew, grown. Okay? Be careful to use it. I am asking one question. This is a paragraph. This is a figure here. We have two types of explanation. Which one is better than the other? You are a fan of A or B. Both are correct, but which one is good for a scientific writing, academic writing, or explanation? You can write in the chat. A or B? Please participate. If you don't participate, so such workshops are not good for you. This is workshop, okay? Don't rush. Please read again the whole paragraphs. You have time. Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, B is better than A. Both are good, but B is better than A. All of you gave me the correct answer. And you can say why? Because,
Oh, because the second one gives like a clear view on that it's an increasing paragraph. And on the first one, it describes like detail by detail about the percentages, but that's something that you can clearly see on the on the
exactly.
figure.
Yeah, exactly, Carmen. Carmen, you are a student in DCI?
I'm sorry, what's DCI?
The Doctorate of Ciencia en Ingeniería. You were my past student?
Yes, I was your past student,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to actually, well, I'm creating right now my paper, and I'm applying to
Perfect.
DCA, but I'm still not there, but I'm getting there.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. Very nice to see you again. Sorry, I didn't know you. And are you working now?
Yes, I'm working. I finished my master degree on technology and information, and I'm an Accenture at
Perfect,
the
perfect,
consulting
perfect.
project.
I remember, yeah, we had like a very like difficult days in the middle of COVID. And
Yes, for
remember,
sure.
both maybe 5 years ago, I was in Iran, and so we had class together. Yeah, nice to see you again. Thank you.
No, thank you, Professor.
Okay, so yeah, the answer is correct. This is like, the first one, just again giving you like everything that you can see from the figure. This is like a repeating, okay? But the second one, it is not interpreting that from your own side you interpret. No, you are clearly report the figures and like make it more like a facilitate, not facilitating, like in Spanish we say, like making easier to understand, okay? Like repeating again clearly to making easy to understand. Or telling the main points of the figure. This is not interpreting, okay? Interpreting is from your own side, your own maybe reason, your own conclusion. No, this is exactly narrating, making easy, clearly clearly mentioning the main points of the paragraphs. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, can you just participate? 70% the population are graduates. Number one, you can write in the chat. Just practice. Don't worry. Up, yes, correct. Number two, the number graduates went up. Yeah, the number of graduates. Number three, it rose. Yeah, thank you, from two. Number four, it increased. I think by is correct. Number five, the structure of between and, huh? Between and, thank you. Number six, there was a rise. I think in, huh? Yes, in. Let me check that is correct or yeah, correct. Thank you very much. And try to explain this pie chart in your own language. Maybe you are Spanish, you are in Persian. Don't tell me, okay? Just in your mind. I give you 2 minutes. What do you want to say? What do you understand? What do you want to write about it in your academic works or the academic papers in your own language, okay? English is not like a maybe problem here. In your own language. Just think about it. Don't tell me. I give you 1-2 minutes. Okay, now let us read English. Is there any volunteer to help me? What are our like achievements? You may open your microphone. I can help you.
Can I say it?
Okay,
Yes.
I give you the main points and you translate it to English, okay? So if you ask me, I want to say what is actually the major, the bigger one, okay? This is like a making like a report, okay? What is the most contributed to this chart? Which country?
Yes, the primary destination for foreign students is the United States.
Yeah. Or the most contributed to, the most contributed. So actually we are telling the main problem is from your own language that you cannot report a figure. You cannot explain a figure, okay? So number one, which one is the biggest one? Of course, the second one is the lowest one. Avesta, which one is the lowest? New Zealand.
New Zealand.
New Zealand, okay. So the biggest, okay. Which one is almost the same?
The United Kingdom.
No, you should mention two countries, almost the same, like equal. For example, Canada and Australia, huh? The percentage is almost the same. Or we can say UK and USA, almost the same, around 1/3. Okay? Another point is that do not mention the percentage again, like this figure. You remember? Do not mention, only increased about 30%. Don't say like a 38%, 24%, 34%, okay? Don't mention like this. Increased by about, no, okay? So here, you can say that Avesta, which one is 1/3? 1/3. 1/3 is about 30%.
It's the United Kingdom.
Yeah. A little more than 1/3 USA. Less than 1/3 UK, okay? 1/6 Australia. Okay, a little bit less than 10, a little bit more than 10%, a little bit more than 1/10 Canada. A little bit more than 1/10. Don't mention 11%. 11% I can see. A little bit more than 1%. So let me see this one. Okay. Avesta, can you answer my question? Which country is over a third? You can write in the chat. Number one, over a third. Over a third means over 33%. USA, thank you. A little under a third. Thank you, Arya. Number three, the lowest number of students. Thank you very much, New Zealand. Number four, about 1 in 10. What does that mean, about 1 in 10? 10%. Yes, Canada. Just under a 6. Australia, yes. It means 100 divided by 6. The most popular country. Okay, why do we use the? Because this is the only one, okay? The last, the second, the first, the tallest, the previous, okay? The. Number 7, the country in second place. Yeah, UK. The least popular country. The least popular, New Zealand, yeah. So when you are narrating a figure, can you see like a percentage here? No. This is explanation of a figure, comparison, the biggest, the shortest, the tallest, maybe the smallest. Okay, this is the explanation of the figure. Any question? Still, we are in result and discussion part. Thank you very much, all of you. Okay, let me again ask you. Okay, number 1. 8,000, 8,950. 8,950. Which one? A, B, C, D, E, F. C. Just under, not only under. 9,000. Or you can say almost like 9,000. Number 2, 2019. F, a little over 2,000. Number 3, 500,000, 5,000. 500,000. E, around 500,000. Thank you. Number 4, 3,946. A, approximately 4,000. Thank you. Number 5, 103. About 100, okay? Approximately, about just a bit. Number 6, 7,223 is the between this one. Okay, these are not interpretation. These are narrating in another language. It's like a paraphrasing, huh? Paraphrasing. When you are writing explanation of figure, don't write like a 3,946. No, you can say, for example, for the 4 is approximately 4,000, because that person is reading and he cannot put all information in the mind. You want to understand that finally what happened. Around 4,000 or approximately 4,000 is understandable. For example, Arya goes to a store, tienda, the price is like in the Costco, Walmart here, like Comer, Chedravi, is like 14.99, like 40.79. If your mother asks, so ¿cuánto cuesta? You cannot say like 14.99. You can say almost 15. Because at that time, you are facilitating, you are like making easy that the mind of your mother to make a decision. If I tell you 14.99 and another is 13.99, so it takes to understand what happens, okay? So another practice about these two figures, please write, don't write in the chat now. Please write like 4 points you understand from this figure in your own language. Don't focus on English now. In your own language, like for example, Carmen, like maybe Juan. If I ask you in Spanish, what do you understand from this one? And for example, I cannot see this figure, okay? You want to explain me what happened for a person that is like a blind. ¿Cómo se dice blind in Spanish? Ciego?
Invidente o ciego.
Invidente o ciego is like both blind and thief, huh?
No, just the blind.
Again, please write in the chat. Invidente, ciego, okay. And ciego is popular also?
Well, yeah, we can say it's popular.
Okay. Son sinónimos. Invidente o ciego, okay.
It depends on the background, since ciego is not so good to tell to the people
Okay.
which are blind.
We have one like a quotation, el amor is ciego or something like this.
Right, el amor es ciego.
And el tiempo cura todo, ¿sí?
El tiempo cura todo.
Cura todo, sí, cura todo. What does that mean? El tiempo cura todo, for the time solved all problems, yes?
Exactly.
Cura todo. And el amor es ciego, es como the in Persian we say عشق و عاشقی. عاشق ما میگیم عاشق کوره، اینا میگن عشق کوره یا عشق کوری میاره. Okay. Let's see. Anything. Okay, so the first point, maybe any volunteer wants to tell me. Number one, you may open your microphone, don't worry, can go faster.
So we can say that the overall trend of both non-graduates and recent graduates are similar in
Thank
this
you very much.
picture.
Yeah, this is the first point. Both figures do the same behavior or have the same behavior is better. Not for writing, this is like a main point, okay? If you want to write, you should write maybe. That's why I told you from your own language, what do you understand? This is the first point, okay? So both figures have the same behavior. Point number one. Point number two.
Recent graduates keep a steady trend from year 2000 and year 2010.
Yeah.
From year 2000 to 2010, I guess.
Yeah, let me tell you in this way. Both figures also, both trends also at first experience decrease, huh? At first experience decrease, and then a smooth, flat, and then increase. This is the second point. Because in the first point is that you say that all both are similar. Okay, both similar are growing, both similar are. The second point is that you can mention that at first decrease, then flat, and then number three. Which one?
Maybe I would say that the difference is between 2 and 5%.
Yeah, thank you very much. The difference between 2 and 5%. Number four, maybe the main point. Which one is higher? Okay, the green is higher. You know, the most of the problem is that you cannot you cannot explain the exact point even in your own language, your own native language. This is our problem. We passed 12 schools, maybe after that 4 years like bachelor, 2 years master, now PhD, okay? We read a lot of books, but these are like a maybe clear, obvious, tangible facts that we can understand, okay? So at first you think about it. What do you understand from this figure? And then, yes, English writing is difficult. Okay, you can ask maybe ChatGPT to help you. You can ask your advisor. You can ask one English person to help you. Okay, so English it doesn't matter here. It is not the case here. The point is that we cannot explain the figures even in our own language. Okay. Anything else? Any point? You can write in the chat or open your microphone. No? Okay. Yes or no? Avesta? Yeah.
Between the year 2005 to 2010, although the number of recent graduates remained stable, the number of non-graduates experienced an increase.
Or thank you very much. Yeah. Or experience like a fluctuations. Okay. For the blue one, experience like a smooth or flat or they stayed like a flat, but for the green one, they faced like a fluctuation. Maybe. Okay. And again, no need to say that first like a decrease and then increase is good, but you can say not stable. Okay. Yeah, this is like explanation. You can use it. The line paragraph shows the number of unemployed between blah blah as Avesta mentioned. Overall, it is clear. You can conclude. Okay, please 2 points from this figure. Which point is most obvious?
The first four columns seem to be almost similar in the number of male and females.
Thank you. Another one, which is the most obvious?
Females, the number of females is always lower than the number of males.
Very much. Yeah, this is the most obvious, okay? The number of females, the purple one, is less than the male in all, okay? And then you can make detail. And in some part of the words are almost the same, yes? In some part of the world, like for example, South and West Asia, the difference is higher than this part of the world, or here is the highest one. Okay? Highest, lowest, shortest, tallest, smallest, biggest. What are the big image? The big image is that for all part of the world, female are less than male. Any question? Okay, just 1 minute. What happened, Wonder? Okay, so any questions so far? Okay, let me see. Okay. Abbas, thank you very much. Can you hear me? Are you still in Italy? Okay, Somaya, thank you very much. Atefe, also very active. Thank you very much. Avesta, Aria, Carmen. Yeah. Edson, Edward, Elivier, huh? Eric, Fernando from Fernando from Texas, huh? Okay. Gabriel, yeah, Irving, Zidong, Jorge, Juan, Kamnur, Nahar. Are you from India, Kamnur? Yeah, Lobani. Yeah, Omid, Preeti, Rogelio, Roman, Samane, thank you very much for coming. Sebastian, Selma, and Somaya, thank you very much. Okay, any questions so far? No? Okay. So let us go to conclusion. Again, another important, all parts are important actually. But again, another important part actually is the summary of summary. So must be written at the end. Be attentive, be assertive of what you have accomplished. Do not reiterate the result, please. I mean, repeat. Instead on findings. What is the meaning of finding? Atefe wrote in the chat before. Can you hear me, Atefe? What is the meaning of findings? In Spanish is hallazgos or hallazgos. Yeah, thank you, Atefe. The result of the result. Yeah. Close the research question if you mention like a research question. Make sure you open future issues. Very, very important. A little bit humble, not very humble, and honest. Okay. So do not repeat the abstract. Do not repeat the abstract. I will tell you how to write it. Please write it down. Any conclusion has 3 parts. Abstract, 5 parts. Introduction, 3 parts. Conclusion, 3 parts. Okay. Summarize the main aspects of the works, how your original question have been answered, the limitation of your research, and this is very important. Please use past tense. This one. Simple past. It means that you already finished your works, okay? The second point is like a heart of your conclusion about finding, as Atefa mentioned, the result of the result. The result of the result. Finally, what happened? For example, your father asked you finally what happened. Which algorithm was better? Which approach was better? Which case was better? Okay. And don't forget about the future direction. It's very, very important. You know, for me, is the most important, even for me as an editor, reviewer, advisor, more than a title. Maybe some of you are not good in like selling your paper. Maybe you are not good in the literature to select a good title, but how about future directions? Writing a title like is a kind of art. I know that is difficult. That's why I ask you to ask some experienced researchers. But future directions, you know, and also we have three kinds of future directions. I told you pretty last week. One is general. For example, we invite future researchers to use this algorithm to other works. So this is good, but this is more general. A specific one is that we invite future researchers, or another area or another direction for future is that to consider fuzzy for parameters, not the crisp one. This is very detailed based on your works, okay? Just as an example. And maybe reviewer asks you this question that why didn't do yourself? Okay? Do not write very general, very detailed and specific. It is, again, is a kind of art. You should attract the future researchers to continue research, giving you the torch, giving you the torch in Olympics, okay? Research. And also not too easy, not too hard, not very general, not very like a specific one. If you write very, very specific one, they ask you, why didn't you do yourself? Okay, any question? So conclusion, 5 parts, introduction, 3 parts, sorry, abstract 5 parts, introduction 3 parts, conclusion 3 parts. Maybe you can use like a acknowledgement, reference maximum I can write it here like a maximum. Yeah, now we can write like 51. Cite the main references, cite the most recent one from top journals, from top researchers. Cite your own related works, but not much. At least 5 from target journal. Before every submission, please check the reference, update the reference. Top 10 scholars, you can find it in Google Scholar, as I showed you last session, and also Saival. I think most of you are familiar with APA, Chicago, Harvard, and so no need to explain more, okay? Appendix, what is the plural form of appendix in English? The word appendix, you can write in the chat. Appendices, thank you, Atafe. Jorge, the conclusion in Spanish is hallazgos. This is the Spanish translation of conclusion. Or other Spanish.
Well, it's like the most important
like finding, okay. Like
findings. Yes, yes, like the most, yeah, findings. Yeah, that's the word.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. So Yeah, let us continue. You just finished maybe after finishing your paper is less than 50% of your work. Okay, after that you should start editing, and now I am teaching you the how to edit your work to reduce the similarity as well, and also some editor secrets in the afternoon. Okay, so we can finish and start at 1 p.m. in Mexico time. Now it's 12, only 1 hour for the or maybe break for your lunch. Yeah, Samane, you asked about the appendix. Yes, after AI, thank you for your question. After AI, we recommend to use appendix, to use more data in supplementary appendix to show that your paper is like original. Okay, you don't know the reviewer and editors. Maybe they make like they conclude, they judge you that oh, maybe this is a fake. Maybe they draw this table, these digits, these numbers by himself or herself. How can I guarantee? How can I conclude? How can I am or can I be convinced to this point that this work is original? You did your work, you went to laboratory, you did like an interview, you did like a programming. Okay, you can add some supplementary material appendix to your works. It is recommended actually, Saman. Thank you very much for your question. So, any other questions? So, we can continue at 1 p.m. So far, we learned how to write title, you know that, abstract, you know that, keyword, you know that, to find the maybe journal, you know that, how to write sentences, paragraphs, literature review, you know that, methodology, analysis, you know that. These are the points, and you can practice more. And conclusion and reference. Okay, we reviewed, but this is only half of the academic writing. After that, we need to talk about the editing and editor's secret. Okay, Preeti, thank you very much for your private comment. Don't worry, I am recording the session. I know that in India, this now is too late. Yeah, Atefe, yeah, you are right. From now, so we are going to start some important points like a secret, and please write as much as you can, okay? And finally, you can share it to me, and I can share in the group with your name. Yeah, thank you very much. So let me stop here and also pause the record. I start recording. Okay, start editing. So it's like a long story at this step, like maybe the primary, the first level, actually, I can say, not to say the advanced level or basic levels. You are in the first level. So thank you, Juan and Zainab. Maybe I can give you some maybe points. You can write it down. Ask yourself why did I bring this sentence, and how can I present it better, shorter? Is that like interpretation, exaggeration, or maybe can I write this sentence better and better? So this is like an art, as I mentioned at the beginning. After like the first, we call it like a method, the first drawing, we start like improving better, 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 and better, and there is no final improvement for any change. That's why I say to all my students, don't send me a final version. No, just number the version, like version 1, version 2, version 3, version 1 million, version 1 billion, okay? Don't write final version. Even after publishing your papers, maybe you ask the publishers to change some part of your papers, okay? So sometimes they allow you. So anyway, we don't have any final version, okay? So we should continue. Yeah, I will send you a checklist in our WhatsApp group. It should be improved, but let me send it to your WhatsApp group. This is like a general one, but let me check. Yeah. And one of them is now duplicated, but I hope to improve it later, and I will send you the updated one, okay? And so perfection, like idealism, especially figures, tables, do your best. Are you familiar with the 3-line tables? In Elsevier, all tables doesn't have like all tables don't have the borders for columns, you know, only 2 or 3 lines at the top and 1 line at the end, okay? So, and also for figures, I recommend not using bold fonts or fonta, because to have like a sharp alphabet letters. If you are using different colors for arcos, arcs, maybe some borders or something like that, also change the patterns of the lines, okay? Because maybe someone wants to print your paper in white and black, okay? So these are the points, and feel free to send me your works and I can send you maybe one voice message. But before to send your papers to anyone, please know that person and ask your advisor and get permission, okay? Don't maybe rely to someone that you don't know, you are not familiar with, okay? Figure should be high resolution. Still, I recommend using PowerPoint to draw your figure. Don't use like a Photoshop, like AutoCAD, and keep those figures maybe in the revisions. You need to change it, okay? In every works, I recommend, we have 2 types of sentence. Last session I told you. One is the sentences that you are telling, you are narrating. Title, abstract, keywords, conclusion. These are your sentences. They don't need citation, okay? But some sentences that you use, especially at the beginning of introduction, recently, nowadays, you are claiming these are not your sentence. Please cite them, okay? Cite your own related works. I recommend at least 1 or 2 because they know that you are working in that regard, okay? Maybe some professors say that, no, don't do self-citation. No, I recommend 1 and 2 to cite yourself, to tell to the reviewers and editors that I am working in the same regards. I am continuing my research, okay? This is a good idea. So do not copy and paste directly from any source and at the end put the citation. No, maybe some important quotation. Plagiarism actually is several punished. So I don't want to tell you in this like a first, or like I don't want to use like a beginning or something like that. But plagiarism is an advanced topic. I talk a little bit about it. Maybe also you are afraid of this one. This is the meaning of the plagiarism. I recommend at the beginning, this is one way. I don't use it now, but maybe if you are an early researcher career, we have two options. You change the sentences from the beginning to avoid plagiarism. So, and the result will be, according to my experience, that you are destroying all sentences, not only in English, but also technically. Another way is that I recommend to my early career student, early researchers, that don't think about plagiarism. Please copy and paste from every place and just focus on technical aspects of your research and use the correct words in English, okay? So finally, your paper has like a 100% plagiarism or similarity, okay? So now we are assured that technically and in English is 100% correct. The problem is plagiarism. In the first way, if you change it yourself, you cannot guarantee the technical aspects because the verb like a present, develop, has a different meaning, have different meanings. And also in about English, you destroyed technically and English will this. So that's why I ask my students that please copy and paste, and later we can think about, because we face only one problem, that is plagiarism, so we can do it, okay? But we are assured to that the rest are okay. So these are for advanced one. I don't want to talk about it here because we have different types of plagiarism. If I teach you now, um, maybe you will be more confused, but hopefully later in an advanced level, I promise you that we have it in the next maybe like a near future, okay? And I will explain about it, but we need to pass English skills first, and then I can teach you this one. Actually, my maybe skills and ability to change plagiarism, I think is very good to help you. But I recommend by changing the words, you cannot reduce the plagiarism or get rid of plagiarism. Like for example, I want to show you, if I change this word, I delete this word, of course, these 49 words will be 40, like a 6, 45, 44, maybe, okay? But plagiarism is talking about the string. ¿Cómo se llama string in Spanish? Like array. Array or array.
Como la cadena. Um,
It's not cadena. Cadena is like a chain, huh? Let me search. Oh, yes. Again, I think you said cadena. Yeah, you are correct. We are using the same. Yeah, like a string like this. This is the algorithm of recognizing plagiarism, okay? So even your word technically is new, but if you face this one, so you face problem. Anyway, I recommend, I explain this one later. I recommend some basic maybe skills that you can learn it, okay? Please write it down. This slide is very important. At first, that's why I put like a step 0. If you can, please delete it. I wrote my name here because this is originally 100% from mine, and you can extend it, okay? What the 0 is that necessary to bring this, for example, a string or sentence that the website like authenticate, plagiascan, Turnitin is recognizing as a copy of another paper, as a copy like this one. Is that necessary? Or you can, for example, I can do like a SCN, and I can use it like abbreviation to get rid of this one. Is that necessary in the abstract, in introduction literature, that you use this one or no? This is the first question from yourself. My recommendation is that it is not necessary, please delete it. Don't invent on that sentence. If it is needed, if it is inevitable, these are very important. Juan, can you hear me? Are you in the class?
Yes, I
Okay.
do.
I just wanted to tell you that focus on this part. Number one is that, combine or split sentences. If you combine, you are reducing subjects, verbs, you are using connectors, you make like a perturbation. You change the cadena, you destroy it and build it again. Okay? So this is maybe the first skill and easiest one to reduce the plagiarism or get rid of plagiarism. Get rid of something, ¿cómo se llama en Spanish? Get rid of something. Do you understand in English? Get rid of something. رها شدن فارسی. Deshacerse, yeah? Deshacerse de. Am I pronouncing correct? Well,
Yes, deshacerse.
Deshacerse. To get rid of plagiarism. Thank you, Ted. So, how you can do it? How can you do it? Or when can you do it, this change? After being familiar with English writing skills that later I teach you, okay? Don't worry. That's why I'm telling you that after that, there is no need to teach you, but I will come back again to these slides and teach you, okay? Number two, I usually use this skill, this like, a skill or two, that make passive or active. Of course, we are not allowed to use active sentences a lot because this is a formal writing. You cannot say we do it, we present, we illustrate. No, okay. Passive is an advanced level of any language, Spanish, maybe English. But please, as much as you can, change this one. If it is active, change it to passive, passive to active. More than 50% of the problem of that sentence will be solved. I wrote this one in the last. Actually, this is the first. Get the main points and rewrite yourself. But I put it in the last. Why? Because if you get the main point and write yourself, again, you are destroying both technically, if your English, even your English is good, okay? We are talking about advanced academic writing, okay? So rewriting yourself is the last point that I recommend. To keep that verb, because with this one, you don't change the verb, For example, this paper presents, this paper develops, this paper shows, this paper illustrates, this paper deals with, although they are synonyms, but they have their own meanings, and you are not master to understand it. Even I explain to you, you don't accept from me because you are not good in the literature. When I say you, it's all of us. even you are native. If you are native is, for example, I explained about one verb in Spanish that is origin, and you should use it in this, for example, occasion or scenario or something like that. And for example, Italy, Juan says, no, 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 we as a Spanish, like a native, we use this verb every day in mercado, in banco, on that situation. And I cannot fight with you because you are using, like my own language, Persian. We are using a wrong verb in those situations. This is not perfect because you heard it and you are using. Is that correct? No. Okay. You remember I told you the difference between words science and knowledge. Most of our scientists don't know about what is the difference between words science and knowledge. Why do we have two words? I explained you in the first session. Okay. And can you explain the difference between word science and knowledge to your father as a native one, your abuelo, grandfather as a native one? No. Okay, so that's why there is a long story here. Please don't. If you see that in your area, it says that we develop a mathematical model, please go ahead. Even it is wrong. It is popular or common in your research area. That's why I ask you, don't change, don't rewrite yourself. This paper develops a mathematical model. Don't ask yourself that for a mathematical model, it is better to be used like a design, formulate, or develop. If you can see that develop is more popular in this your base paper research area, so go ahead on that regard. Okay, there is a I don't want to extend it because there is a long story here and I don't know your level of English and I don't want to confuse you, but please put this one at the end of your like a final strategy. Even you are native, if you are native is worse. Okay, for example, I ask you, Juan, please write a letter to the government of Puebla that, for example, gives, for example, water, electricity to your house in one pueblo. Okay. So when you want to write a letter, even you are native Spanish, you agree with me. This is difficult for you. The hardest course at your school was about writing, writing classes. We are not good at writing. And please do not, even for me that I am teaching you, I don't like claim or exaggerate my abilities that I am good. No, literature doesn't have any limit or borders. And so, as I showed you, I am familiar with more than 5 languages. I am a language teacher more than 15 years, but I consider myself honestly, at the beginning, at the scratch of literature. I'm not telling you like a humble or something like that. No, I am at the beginning. Literature is like an ocean. Okay, so please be careful and keep learning, and reading good papers. Okay, most of this, like I also borrowed some slides from my friends, but the point is that most of the points that I am telling you, there was no teacher for me. I learned from the previous papers. Okay, so anyway, perfection here is good. Don't be tired after finishing. The word final, don't use it. Oh, professor, I finished. This is boring to, again, changing, editing, bothering me. Yes, some works are bothering, okay? For example, if you hear your sounds, like recording your sound and hearing maybe bothering, okay? Some works in our universe are bothering, but please keep working, okay? So there are a lot of avoid that I teach you. This is it doesn't mean that don't use due to the fact or something like that. No, please use as less as much possible, as few as possible. Okay, I will tell you in the like advanced classes later. Reading is always a good idea. Please read your good works. Okay. So any questions so far? We have only half an hour, but don't worry, we continue. Hopefully, maybe in the next jueves. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah, after you are done, so far, again, less than 50% after your editing, okay? Less than 50%, but congratulations, good job. And so, yeah. You are going to submit after confirming. Don't rush for submitting. Don't say that, I did a lot. After 6 months, I finished. Professor, please let me submit it. No, don't be right. Because if your professors, because of your work, submit your paper, the process of acceptance your paper will be longer. Okay? Because uh, you face a lot of rejections. Okay? So I have two slides here. 3-1. This one, the editor's secret. This is again for advanced one. And after this one, I don't tell you the editor's secret now. And we are going to start English skills. We review some English, and then I will come back and tell you editor's secrets. Anyway, so I hope to finish this slide today. Know your enemies. I will talk about the enemies in the next slide, like a dirty or sexy secrets in the next slides for the advanced one, just to review. Cover letter is very important. If you have a certificate from English language, is very good. You can get it from some maybe institute. Putting some highlights here is very important. You can mention this is evolved from PhD work, and journal are very hungry for PhD and master, I mean, original works. Highlight, uh, according to Elsevier, every highlight should be 81-85 characters. Even it is not mandatory to journals, please do it, okay? Journals, please check these two websites, SciMago JR and BioXBio. This is for impact factor, and this is for the journal, okay? Please search these journals. I give you like 2 minutes. Yeah, okay. So as I told you, this is the first like a workshop. The advanced one will be announced later, okay, maybe after 1 month, 2 months after finishing the material. And then meanwhile you can practice and you can work on the materials. And then we have advanced one. Advanced one is again free. And but if I give you more information now, maybe you are afraid of something or you imagine something like a hard, complex, or for example, I give you a lot of editor's secret now. So I think you will be confused because you hear some points maybe firstly in your life. And you maybe have another like imagination. I will make you another imagination. So don't rush. We have time. So work on the materials that I am teaching you now. And after a while, for the same group, I have like maybe just 2 hours is enough. Like maybe they're giving you the point, but we can practice in more time. Okay? No problem. You understood what I'm saying to you?
Yes, Mostafa.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
You passed 12 years in a school from primary to like intermediate and advanced one. So if I tell you something like about university, about laboratory, about maybe some I don't know, research to a primary school student, I'm just exaggerating. You are not primary school. So something is not working, okay? So let us go step by step. I am here, hope to be alive, ojalá, inshallah. And so don't worry, I will tell you later, but let us give time to ourselves. Okay, Juan, el tiempo cura todo, huh? Yeah, okay. So the review process, most of you are familiar, so let me tell you like a basic one. You submit, editor receives, reviewers read your paper, send back to editors. So this is like a revision, and finally accept. This is like a peer review process. These are very important for your writing now. Researchers want to publish honestly, and then high quality journals, and then get citation. And researchers like us, we don't focus on the quality of our works. We want to publish in higher quality journals, but we don't focus on our quality of our works, okay? So I have one guest at 3 p.m., 2 p.m. Yeah. And but editors, the objective of editors are increase the impact factor of journal. I don't teach you maybe impact factor now. We are going to 2026. Please search in by ChatGPT. You can ask ChatGPT what is the impact factor of a journal. Okay. So the higher impact factor, the higher profit and quality, and this is very good for publishers. Who is publisher? The Elsevier, more than like maybe 200,000 journals in maybe Elsevier, 200,000. Maybe more in Springer, maybe, okay, they are publishers that journals are working with them. So anyway, if you are asked about the referees, don't propose co-authors, friends, because like we as editor have some tools that it shows that conflict of interest. For example, same country, same institute. I will show you later. It shows that having papers together in the last 5 years, maybe in the last 10 years, okay? So don't propose any, and editors it is not 100% to send to those reviewers. It is for past. Now we have some tools to recognize who are the best. You know, for every keyword, you should go to Google Scholar and find and search the. And if you click on the keyword, I showed you mine. You can find the first one. Okay. For example, me. I am number one, maybe in some keyword. For example, this one. This is a keyword. For 100% manually, if you send a paper with this keyword entitled abstract keywords, I select these reviewers as your these researchers as your reviewers. Okay. Also the same. This is manually. The same in Scopus. According to this keyword, they recommend. The system recommends these reviewers. Okay. Eren in Turkey is my friend. And most of us, we are friends. And we are like reviewing our papers together because we are working in these papers. I reviewed most of these researchers' papers. Even I know them one by one. He was my PhD student, Vivek. Now he's working at Ford. You know, he was my, yeah. Zainab, now he's a professor at Tec de Monterrey. We had some papers together. Actually, I recommend our university to hire just maybe simple recommendation. I know most of them even by a small name. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that be careful. Okay, be honest. Don't exaggerate. Don't underestimate previous works. Okay. So, yeah, just maybe as a basic level, most of the papers are being rejected because of English. Be careful. This rejection doesn't mean that your paper is not at your level. So maybe contribution, maybe originality, maybe interest was not good. And do not resubmit again to that journal without getting permission from the editors. Talking about the time of the acceptance of a journal, this is another topic for advanced level, I will tell you. And the strategy to answer the reviewers. So this is again for advanced one. Please start writing your papers and then, but just telling you in maybe later in a slide I will tell you. Yeah, these are your enemies. Just for like a caricature joking. And response letter, please I use this one, like a very colorful, beautiful, good fonts. And for some, just for basic level, for some questions from the reviewers, you should be defensive, only defend. Sometimes you should be offensive. It's like a chess, it's like an enemy. Should be very polite. There are some secrets here. Some of you or most of you will worked with me. I ask you to write a lot in response letter because reviewers are very busy and don't have time to read line by line, like with more probability. Okay, if you write a lot, there is less chance to read your responses. That just scroll the mouse and they can understand that. So you did a lot. You did a lot. Okay. Just check some points and then give you acceptance. Okay. This is another secret that I should be like a silent, shut up, but I am telling to you. Okay. These are the secrets, very easy, but helping you to that your paper will be accepted. Do not argue with referees. Please be polite. And so, of course, there are some advanced points. Yeah. But if your paper is rejected, please, 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 don't do that, okay? Angry towards email editors, writing angry emails, anger toward referees, or anger toward the system, stop doing research. I know some PhD students that after receiving rejection, they stopped and they went out because they are not a good scientist. They are not humble. They are not honest. They are not like a hardworking persons. Okay, that's why at the beginning of the PhD or master, we need a recommendation from your previous professors. In the recommendation, we can see that is that this person resourceful, hardworking, is that cutting the corner, or maybe the real go-getter? Real go-getter, it means that is straightforward, or no. That's why research, as I told you at the beginning, is a kind of science, knowledge, art, techniques, okay? Please be patient, okay? So to be patient is the minimum expectations from expectation or expected, like maybe adjective from a scientist. You should be patient. Okay, in Spanish is paciente, right or no? Juan, Italian? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, be patient. How you can be not like a patient at 12 years at school, 4 years bachelor, 4 years. Okay, sometimes happen. And sometimes some maybe not fight, but some debate or discussion happens between you and editor, between you and reviewers, between you and your advisor. Okay, this is like a normal, but be patient, and so let us solve. You are not a real enemy, okay? So be careful. Yeah, I give you some points here. Don't submit a rejected paper to another journal. Please use that opportunity to address the problems. Yeah, I think that is good for today. Hopefully next session will be announced in our WhatsApp group. All of you are in the WhatsApp group? Italia, can you send the link of our WhatsApp group in the chat? Okay. Okay. So, let me okay. Can anyone send the WhatsApp group in the chat? WhatsApp link, group link? Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, I sent you a book in WhatsApp group. We are going to, in the next session, we are going to work on this skill, and then I give you the editor's secret and some advanced skills, okay? I recommend please print this book and let me send you if you open this book in the chat, one of my students, there are 60 skills, okay? This Word file is like a summary of the 60 skills. Yeah, okay. Maybe we can practice all or some of the skills and you can read yourself. This is from the TOEFL Barons, I think. Yeah. And so we are working on structures. Let us tell you some structures. And I recommend printing this document. And it depends on you if you are very like happy with the skills, we can go all skills together. If you think that these skills are good and you can practice yourself, we just select some skills and I will give you the main points and we can practice together. And then I can tell you the advanced skills of the academic writing. Okay, any question? No? Okay, so let me start the recording.